Hi, this is Chris. Welcome back. Today I'm going to share with you part 3 of the video series called The 3 Biggest Mistakes in Vertical Jump Training and What You Can Do to Avoid Them. The number one biggest mistake I see in vertical jump training is not following a proven system or plan. To best explain this, I'm going to share with you a conversation I had recently with Joe, who is an ultra-dedicated high school sophomore guard who came to me for vertical jump help, mainly because what he had been doing was getting him nowhere. So I share this with you because I probably have this exact conversation with at least one player every single week. So here's how my conversation with Joe went. Joe starts out saying, I've been working really hard on my vertical, but I'm not seeing the results I want. What am I doing wrong? Hey Joe, in order to help you, I need to know what you're doing right now training-wise. Joe says, on Monday, I do jump shoes. On Tuesday, I do P90X. On Wednesday, I do a little yoga. On Thursdays, I do 2-hour plyos. And on Fridays, I take a morning boot camp class. And then on the weekends, I run about 5 miles. And I say, I think I know why you're not getting the results you want. Do you have a couple minutes? And he says, sure. So over the last week, I've worked quite a few nights. So yesterday, I was bound and determined to surprise my wife by cooking dinner. She normally does all our cooking. I thought a stew would be a good choice and something that I just couldn't screw up. So I pulled out the biggest old stew pot and every vegetable in the fridge I could find. First, I heated up the water. I tossed in some carrots and potatoes, onions, celery, tomatoes, and spinach. Next, I headed over to the spice cabinet. I'm not very knowledgeable with spices, so I just took each spice that I could recognize and just threw a couple shakes in. So Joe asked me, so how did dinner turn out? Was your wife surprised? Yeah, she was surprised all right, as she gagged the moment the soup touched her lips. That night I learned that if you throw in a little bit of this and a little bit of that, you end up with crap soup. So Joe asked me, what does this have to do with me not jumping higher? And I can see that kind of puzzled look on his face. So the moral of the story is, if you're a beginner, like I was in the kitchen, don't experiment with a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Instead, find a proven recipe created by a reputable chef and follow that recipe to the T. That's what I should have done. So what does this have to do with my vertical? If you add in a little bit of everything, multiple programs, this program, that program, throw a gadget in here or there into your vertical jump training, you get basically crap soup, which I would define as inconsistent results, overtraining, and injuries. So here's the big question that I think you need to answer as you're sitting at home. Do you want to spend your time, money, and energy becoming a vertical jump training expert? Or do you want to become a high-flying basketball player and jump as high as you can be? I think that's the big question you need to answer. So that leads me to the number one biggest tip that I can share with you to jump higher. And that is pick up a recipe book by a top vertical jump chef and stick to the recipe, and you'll get jaw-dropping results. So you might be asking, how do I know which recipe book to follow? Well, here's 3 keys to identifying the right vertical jump recipe book or plan for you. Number 1, it needs to produce effective and consistent results. Number 2, it doesn't compromise your health. That's probably my biggest beef with a lot of the vertical jump programs out there, is that they're very, very aggressive, but they can set you up for injury. Number 3, it is reviewed by and endorsed by real people who have used the recipe and have gotten results. I hope that today was very beneficial for you as you look to maximize your vertical jump. Be sure to check your email in the next couple of days, where I will share my number 1 favorite recipe plan for jumping higher in the next 90 days. See you then.